Hello dear students, very good morning. As you know, we have already completed chapter number 10, that is light, reflection and refraction in our all 7 lectures. The last lecture that was total completion of chapter number 7. Now, today we are starting chapter number 11, the human eye and the colorful world around us. Before I start, why we are taking 2 chapters of physics back to back, that you should understand. Because before I started chapter number 10, I already gave you an idea, if you can remember, that we have to take 2 chapters back to back, chapter number 10 and 11, because both the chapters are of physics. So we have to take back to back. Now, here in chapter number 11, what we are going to discuss, let me clarify some of the topics. Here in chapter number 11, we will discuss, and somehow in the previous standard you must have read about eye, various defects of vision also. Understand, as a general knowledge also you must have read in magazines or whatever, in textbook or general knowledge book. In today's lecture, we are going to, in this chapter we will cover the topics: structure, internal structure of human eye, that's a total detailed description of that. Then we want to discuss power of accommodation, the greatest gift of nature to us. Then we will discuss defects of vision, understand various defects of vision, understand. Then we will discuss a few other topics like refraction of light through prism. As you know, we have studied refraction of light through glass slab, that is in chapter number 10. So here in chapter 11, we are going to discuss refraction of light through prism, then related phenomenon like rainbow, which we see generally in rainy season. Understand, then we will discuss about atmospheric refraction, then Tyndall effect, understand, and few phenomenon related to atmospheric refraction, understand. So this chapter, if you summarize, some of the topics look like this, understand. Today, lecture number 1. In lecture 1, we are going to study about internal structure of eye, then power of accommodation, and if we can extend the lecture, we will also discuss about, we'll start about defects of vision. Okay, so today we are starting chapter number 11, human eye, the greatest invaluable gift of nature to the living organism. Okay, and then we will discuss about not only internal structure of eye, but we discuss about at the same time power of accommodation. Okay, so our today's target is we are trying to study the internal structure of human eye. This is our topic today. We are trying to study internal structure of human eye. I will try to draw the figure, and from the figure will give you an idea. Okay? Let us just try to draw some rough sketch of the internal structure of eye. Just take an example. થોડું just draw with me. Just like this. આવું એક first circle જેવું બનાવો. Okay. Try to draw with me. Okay. And here the bulging part. That bulging part, understand, shows the cornea. Okay, little bit this way. Perfect. Try to make a perfect circle. Okay, and somewhere here so like this muscles. Okay, now first draw perfect circle. What I am showing here inside, I am going to show here, these are actually optical nerves. I am writing it here. These are optical fiber, or you can say optical nerve. Okay. Now, actually, as you know, from front, if you actually, this is the, we are trying to visualize our eye from side. Understand? Right from this is the side view of your eye. From the front, your eye looks like this, as you all know. Understand? This is, if you know the front view of your eye. Front view તો આવો જ હોય. This is the front view. It looks like this. Okay, fibrous jelly like. This is the front view of eye. But what we are trying to study is not the front view, what the eye looks like from front. Actually, we are trying to see the eye from side. Actually, what I am trying to draw here is the side view of our eye. Understand? Side view we are trying to study. Okay? So, first perfect circle. These are optical nerves, as you all know. And here, first, just draw like this. It is actually aqueous humor. Understand? Try to draw a perfect circle. It is aqueous humor, which is present in our eye. What I have shown here is aqueous humor. Okay? This part which we have initially drawn is actually, you can call the protective cover of our eyeball, which we can call cornea. Actually, light first fall on our cornea only. Through cornea, only the light passes, understand? Then aqueous humor, and then comes the lens. So first you try to understand how to draw this diagram. Perfect circle, optical nerve, as you can see that you can utilize our optical fiber also, which actually sends signal to our brain. Understand, complete brain structure we do not need to draw, but our brain looks like this. Side view of our brain, understand? Now what happens? Try to understand. This is aqueous humor, and then let us try to draw the internal part of our eye. Again, a circle. Okay, try to draw with me. Actually, we are trying to draw now iris. See, actually, this is iris. અહીં સુધી આવજો. Okay, now this, આને થોડું ડાર્ક બનાવો. Actually, this is iris. Understand? This iris is a muscular, circular diaphragm which you can see here. વચ્ચે જે દેખાય છે actually શું છે? Pupil. That is called pupil. And around there is a diaphragm. The dark muscular diaphragm, if you look at your eye from front, so this muscular diaphragm is actually iris. This is iris. The opening of the iris, this is what you call pupil. If you look in front of the mirror, exactly in the center, you will see your pupil, and that pupil is covered by a muscular diaphragm. Actually, that muscular, from the front, it looks like a circular diaphragm. Actually, the opening of that diaphragm is called pupil, actually. Understand? Right? We will discuss about the functions of each and every organ later on. Now, from here, first let me show eye lens. This is fibrous jelly-like eye lens, but it is attached with ciliary muscles. As these are ciliary muscles. This is eye lens, and this is a light sensitive screen which we call retina, as you all know. This is actually retina. This is lens. Okay. Then if you see from the side, whatever material looks here is called vitreous humor. Okay. So dear student, the very first thing we have tried to show you the internal structure of human eye. Most of the part we have shown you. Okay, how you draw diagram you have tried with me. We still have to label one thing. These are ciliary muscles. Okay. Now, after drawing this diagram, let us try to understand the function of diagram perfect કરવાની try કરો. Understand? And in exam also blue black pen એ સિવાય no other color you should utilize when you draw the diagram. At least blue black sufficient. Okay. Now you see. First thing, make quite clear this is what the eye looks like and this is the real. Understand? We are seeing from the side view, from side. Now see, let us try to discuss the internal structure of eye and importance of each and every internal organ and their function. Let us first summarize. Have we shown all parts labeled? Optical nerve, or you may call optical fiber, light sensitive screen like a camera, retina. Understand? Retina is a light sensitive screen. Understand? All images are going to fall on retina. Then our eye has got a transparent protective cover which we have drawn first, cornea. Cornea is followed by aqueous humor, jelly-like transparent material. Then the muscular diaphragm. Just after the lecture, go in front of the mirror, try to visualize your eye. Exactly in the center you see a small black portion which is actually called pupil and it is covered by a dark muscular diaphragm. Understand? That is called iris. Iris we have shown here. This is opening of the iris called pupil. Then fibrous jelly-like lens. We could not label it. This is lens. Okay. It is fibrous jelly-like lens. And the size of the lens is controlled by which muscle? Ciliary muscles. Understand? And then this is vitreous humor. We have shown each and every part and mostly the diagram looking okay. Understand? Now see. Let us try to understand. I have just drawn a rough sketch of the brain here, which is no doubt a part of study in biology in detail. Understand? But just now I have drawn the rough sketch of the brain and actually the visual reception lies only in the forebrain. Understand? And our discussion just now is only for the forebrain, where actually the cell for visual reception actually exists. Okay. Detailed discussion of brain will occur in biology. Okay, now what happens? Let us try to understand function of each and every part in detail. We will start from cornea, then aqueous humor, pupil, iris, ciliary muscle, lens, retina, optical nerve, etc. Okay. Let us try to study this. What happens first? Light ray reflected from any object falls on cornea. Try to remember, we are only thinking that the eye lens is the lens which is actually refracting the light ray and allow them to concentrate on retina. But my dear student, you should know that cornea and aqueous humor both is playing a part. Understand? In the refraction of the light. Actually what happens? When light ray falls on cornea, say 90% refraction of light already takes place. Like cornea actually plays a very important role in refracting the light ray incident on your eye. Now what happens? Light ray incident on your eye got refracted, and through pupil they are going to fall on lens. Now what is the role of pupil and what is actually the role of this iris? What is actually importance or significance of iris? The iris muscle means this diaphragm actually control the size of the pupil. Understand? Whenever iris muscle relax, it try to increase the size of the pupil, and whenever iris muscle contract, it try to decrease the size of the pupil. Why? Why it is required? Why you need to increase or decrease the size of the pupil? That's a natural adjustment, and it is the gift of nature to us. Our retina is a light sensible screen ultimately. So, our retina should not be exposed to sudden change of light. Suppose in summer, at noon you are playing outside. That is in extreme intense light, and the moment you enter in your room, so temporarily it looks like you are not able to visualize anything, and we utilize the word andhar avi gaya. Actually, slowly you adjust to the darkness of the room. A similar thing happens. Suppose you went to some theater, you are remaining in that darkness of the theater, and the moment you come out, you are not able understand. The moment you come out, what happens? જેવા બહાર આવો, so you are trying to close your eyes, means you are not trying to open your eye. Understand? સમજવાનો પ્રયત્ન કરો. Why it happens? Try to understand it. Actually, iris muscle controls the amount of light entering, understand, in our eye, and it is a must. It needs to be controlled. Sudden release of light and entering of light, understand, on retina can be dangerous. Understand? Can damage our retina. That's why function of iris is to control the size of the pupil and will allow only sufficient amount of light to fall on our lens. Okay? So you understood the function of iris and pupil. Now ciliary muscle, actually these are ciliary muscles, are actually controlling the size of our lens. Size in the sense, I must utilize one word, that this ciliary muscle actually has got capacity to adjust curvature of lens. Try to understand. Don't write this in exam, I am just explaining, so I am writing it. Ciliary muscle has got the capacity. Which capacity? To adjust the curvature of the lens. In fact, sometime we are utilizing the word that ciliary muscle has got the capacity to increase or decrease the size of the lens. Our word, sometime we are utilizing this word ultimately Actually, ciliary muscle has got capacity to increase or decrease curvature of the lens. એ તો મગજમાં આવે ને, લેન્સ હોય એનું curvature increase થાય. If the curvature increases, then the lens become thicker. મગજમાં આવે ને, lens become thicker. See, a lens, if the curvature increases, the lens become thicker. Okay, means curvature increases means lens become thicker, means its focal length decreases. યાદ કરો. અને if curvature decreases, suppose lens and a slim lens curvature decreases, then lens become thinner and focal length increases. So actually ciliary muscle has got all capacity to increase or decrease the curvature of the lens. Actually that is called power of accommodation. The same one another topic we are including in this only, power of accommodation. What does it mean? So we have got inside our eye a fibrous jelly like material, lens. This lens is attached with ciliary muscles, and ciliary muscle has got the capacity to increase or decrease the curvature of the lens. Increase or decrease the curvature of the lens. Understand? When you want to see distant object, if you want to see far away object, you have to increase the focal length of your lens. So your lens curvature has to be decreased. That is done by ciliary muscle. Whenever you try to see far away object, ciliary muscle relaxes, understand, and decreases the curvature of your lens, make it thinner, increases the focal length, so you are able to visualize the object clearly. Exactly opposite to that, whenever you want to see nearby object clearly, ciliary muscle try to increase the curvature of the lens by contraction. Because the curvature of the lens increases, it becomes thicker and its focal length increases. And as the focal length decreases, you are able to visualize the nearby object clearly. So that is actually called power of accommodation. Which word we utilize? Power of accommodation. A separate short note has been given in textbook. Explain power of accommodation. Every normal human eye are gifted with this power of accommodation. Understand? And if these ciliary muscles get weaker, so your power of accommodation gets a little weaker and you will suffer from some impaired vision. Understand? Either that may be nearsightedness or that may be far-sightedness. It can happen. Understand? So now, you understand the role of iris muscle. You understood? What is the role of iris muscle? Ciliary muscle along with the lens? It try to adjust the size of the lens, that means curvature. Okay. Light ray fall on cornea, aqueous humor, through pupil, through lens. What is actually the role of lens then? The role, I told you that 90% refraction take place through cornea only. So actually lens, by adjusting the focal length, the lens try to make some finer adjustment so that the image of the object exactly fall on your retina. Actually लेंस का क्या काम है? To make some finer adjustment so that of focal length, so that the image fall exactly on retina. Understand? Okay. Now what is actually retina? Retina is actually light sensitive screen. Understand? It has got an enormous amount of light sensitive cell. Enormous amount of light sensitive cell are there. Actually, this light sensitive cell present on the retina are rod shaped. Their shape look like this. These are actually light sensitive cell. Not only retina has light sensitive cell, but it has cone shaped cell also, which are actually color sensing cell. Color sensing present on our retina, though it hasn't been mentioned in textbook, but we have covered it. Cone shaped cells which are actually sensing the color of the object. Okay. Now what happened? This part over. Image fall. Lens made some finer focal length adjustment, and by perfect refraction, the ray converged at some point on retina, and that point contains both the type of cell, light sensitive and color sensitive cell. The moment image falls on retina, illumination of light take place. Understand? Like if you have seen that how to make you understand. So Xerox machine, have you seen it? Print mate, suppose you place any paper and then you close it, so you see, if you visualize it minutely, light travels. Okay, the same type of light illumination take place on that part of retina where the image falls, suppose here, and that illumination of light creates some electric signal. What it creates? Some electric signals. That actually light converted into electric signal, and this electric signal via optical nerve reach to our brain. That means the cerebrum, our forebrain. શું થયું? You understood this? Image fall on retina, and the moment image fall on retina, understand, the illumination of light take place on that part of retina, and it created actually electric signals, right? Means the light signal converted into electric signal. Okay. Now this electric signal travel through optical nerves or optical fiber and reach to our brain. Our brain, when we will discuss in biology, understand, is divided into three parts, but just now we are just discussing the role of that part of the brain which plays a role in visual reception, in taste reception, in auditory reception, in touch reception, in smell reception. That is, all types of reception, understand, are sensed by only forebrain. And actually the forebrain is also divided into four parts, but that's not a detailed discussion now. Temporal lobe, frontal lobe, parietal lobe and occipital lobe. આપણે અત્યારે એટલું ધ્યાન રાખો કે forebrain has got the centers for visual reception. So try to understand with me. Electric signal via optical nerve reach to our brain. Now, what is the role of brain? The moment the brain receives electric signal and reaches to the visual reception center, what actually occurs? Our brain is like a microprocessor. Like a microprocessor, that means what happens? The moment it reaches to our brain, understand, that part of the brain where the visual reception center actually lies, what happens? The brain receives the electric signal and then it tried to process it. And after processing, when I'm speaking the word processing, you should understand our brain is trying to perceive the image. Perceive the image means from childhood you are observing so many things. Perceive image means image which fall on your retina. You need to try to understand that image. Okay, whose image is that? Understand, take an example. Many students, understand, I was not knowing them before 1 year, understand, because I was not working in Gnan Manjuri. તો એવું બને કે suppose we have met on the road, okay, so it happens that you can see me, I can see you, but you are not going to say me hello sir, good morning, or I will say hello Param, how are you, because I haven't seen you any time. And my brain can't try, my brain is not able to perceive the image that who you are. But now suppose once I have seen you, so your image has been implanted in my brain, in my memory of my brain. Okay, so now whenever I see you, your image falls on my retina, electric signal generated reaches to brain interprets it, processes it and gives me the message that this is this person or this is the image of this object. Understand? So this is actually the role of brain in visual reception. Okay, now my dear student, try to understand. After discussing in detail about the structure of eye, any part of the eye, either cornea, aqueous humor, iris, pupil, ciliary muscle, lens, retina, optical nerve, vitreous humor or aqueous humor, any part of the internal structure of any part of the eye got damaged, एक पण part, then it result in impaired vision. एक पण part, any part got damaged, it results in impaired vision. So each and every part of the eye is very important, like the lens important, every part is important. It becomes sometime, this lens has to be very clear and crystalline, jelly-like material made up of that. With the aging process, what happens, you see, with the aging process, this lens becomes milky and cloudy. Understand? Means slowly with the aging process, it's commonplace. With the aging process, understand, some cloudy milky layer try to deposit on your lens, and what happens, that is, you call it cataract. Either you can get a proper vision, understand, again by a cataract surgery, that is available in the market nowadays. So you all know the damaged lens can also be replaced, understand, by surgery. But that is an aging process, it is going to happen, understand. So lens can be replaced also. Okay. So my dear student, any damage to any part of the eye, any single part of the eye, results in total impaired vision. Okay. And one more thing you should understand, just a topic of information. We have got two eye in front of our head. One eye gives 150-degree view and two eye gives 180-degree view. Understood? And because we with two eye we are getting the idea of 3D vision. With one eye you will get idea only 2D vision, but two eye gives you an idea of 3D vision, which other animal are not able to do. But you can see in prey, in other animals they have got the two eyes inside, so they got more view, more wider field of view than us. Understand? Try to just watch at home. Suppose you are standing and try to see some other thing with one eye. You will get only 2D vision. Open your second eye, you will get the idea about depth. Because we have got two eyes in front, we are able to get the idea of 3D vision quite perfectly. Understood? So today, in today's lecture, we discuss about internal structure of eye and power of accommodation. Okay, before we end today's lecture, two questions for homework. First, write a short note on internal structure of human eye. Perfect diagram details. Second question, write a short note on power of accommodation. Two short notes for homework. Okay, in today's lecture number 1. Thank you very much from Bharat sir.